I'm pleased to introduce my new calculator to everybody. So I've got this updated with everybody's banks in there, credit unions from every store. So it should be fairly accurate. Again, this is just to get you going in the right direction, not as a catch-all to every deal that you're doing. The big thing is to check your bank programs once you narrow it down to the banks that you think are going to work best for your deal, but this is just getting you going in that direction. So there are a lot of components on here that are going to help you structure a deal. If somebody's at your desk and you want to quickly calculate what their payments are going to be, any adjustments to down payment, you can do all of that inside of here. The first thing I do, because I'd like to print this out and put it in my deal so I have reference to what I might have quoted on warranty or payments or anything else, I can copy this, print it, put it in the file, and then I've got evidence for what we talked about. So I want to put it in the customer's name up here first, so I'll plug that in. We're going to give the deal number, let's say it's 268594 for the F&I quote number, so we'll put that in there. We're going to look at so this is just copying information off of the sales quote, and so you're going to take the MSRP or NADA retail, let's say it's 160,000, purchase price of 130. Let's say the sales tax rate is 6.85%. So it calculates the sales tax here automatically. And you'll see on these hovers, it tells you what each of these items are so that you can quickly figure out how to use this calculator. Let's say we've got the other taxables for the state of Utah. That's going to be the property and registration fees. So let's say $350. So it gives me a net balance out the door with those fees included. Now we're going to start putting in the trade. So let's say that they've got a trade that's worth $25,000. And they owe 15 on it. It's going to calculate the equity in that trade right here for me. Let's say they owed 30. It gives me the negative equity and calculates it into the gross balance out the door right here for you. Down payment, let's say that we've got 0 down. It's going to show that it's a 0 down deal. We're over MSRP on that, so it cuts down my terms that are available because we're over MSRP, and that sometimes limits the bank. So again, not an absolute truth here, but you may want to check your bank programs to make sure you're using the right program for this deal. But let's say this customer has the negative equity and they want to put 30,000 down. That changes the whole structure. So now you can go to a standard bank, 240 months. Let's plug in, let's say, an invoice of 110,000. Discounts of 4,500, freight for Utah, let's say 2,660. So it gives me a base invoice here and a gross invoice right there. And you'll see this total out the door gives you an LTV or max advance here off a base invoice of 108%, which I think you can go up to 135% on the front for most of these deals. Gross invoice right here, it shows you the advance so far off of gross invoice just on the front. So now if you start adding ECP in, warranty, let's say there's a $10,000 warranty, calculates the payments here based off the term. So you'd want to come in and put the term in. Let's say our buy rate is 3.99 and we want to hold, let's say 4 points of reserve. So it gives me a 4.99 rate. Contract rate, 240-month term. I could go 144 months if I want. Let's say 240 months. Gives me a calculated base payment here, and then based on the warranties, it gives me a gross payment and also a total advance with all the warranties built in right here. So I'm at 124%. I've still got room to play with, so maybe I want to bump that warranty up to 15,000. They don't stay within the bank's guidelines there. So you can play with that. The nice thing is down here, it gives me an estimated gross reserve commission off of that 4 points there, and then a gross warranty profit is right here, and then what my approximate commission would be and what the GPI percentage would be on that deal. So we're trying to get a 7% deal ratio, so that would show you if you're within that range or not, right down here on the left. And that also shows you your approximate commission on this deal. Obviously with credit unions, you'll see that they pay a flat. Sometimes you'll have to manually calculate that, but at least you can estimate where you're at quickly on that deal. Now the other thing that I've got built in here is the income, so you can put in the customer's income. Let's say they make $7,000 a month. They have $2,500 going out every month. Shows that we've got a 48% DTI because it's going to calculate this plus the gross payment here into the deal. And so you've got a debt to income issue you might want to address. So you need to find more money. So let's say this is $2,100 going out. That puts us within range on the deal. So hopefully that makes sense. The invoice you can play with, the MSRP you can play with. You'll want to do that because on this back page, when you're trying to figure out which one's going to pay you the most, I'll go over that in a bit. It plugs all that information in right across the top here automatically. So it just transfers over from this page so that you can see which bank might pay you the most if you took it there. So I've got this drop down. I'll go over this in another video. The other thing here is you've got your credit score. So let's say these guys are a 650 score and we're coming out of GTR. It'll show me which banks are available based on that credit score, the down payment, the total down, and the store location. And so just a simple way to guess which stores you might, or which banks you might be able to go to based on that person's credit score. And so as you change the info or the data here, it changes this automatically, so you know who to go to. Okay, so that in a nutshell is what we've done. A lot of information on here. You can hover over the tabs again and that'll tell you what each of these sections does. And basically, if you can't click on it, you can't change it. So if you can click on it, you can mess around with it and put in the information you want to use. So I see this being a great desking tool. I see it as a tool that we can use to quickly calculate payments. You know, let's say I want to just figure at 6%, 144 months, what this guy's payment would be. You know, about $11.70 a month. If we had warranty in, about $13.84. If you went it to a 180-month term, I could quickly calculate where he'd be at. Or I can base it off a buy rate of 3.99, plug in 5 points of reserve, 4 points of reserve. At a 4.99, it gives me my adjusted payment there. So I hope this helps you, especially those that are new or if you're traveling. This will be a tool that you can use to kind of estimate which banks would be best for the deal you're working on. If you have any questions, email me, and I will do a couple more videos on the GP calculator and the VIP calculators that you see here. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.